What up, gamers? We have a B patch. Let's just get right into it. So here we have the notes here, and it is a nerf patch. This is just a nerf patch. I don't believe anybody is being buffed. And nerf patches are pretty interesting because, you know, when we get balance changes and you see that Ahri's composition has been buffed in 3 different ways, and the comp is already pretty good, you know, like Zoe, Ahri, Bastions. When we get a patch like that, it makes it really, really obvious where you're supposed to play. But again, these nerf patches are pretty interesting because it doesn't make it as obvious. Usually when you're interpreting a nerf patch, you just think about the things that weren't touched that were already good. And so that's what we're going to do in the second part of today's video. But the first part, let's just look at the notes here. And so looking at the traits here, 3 portal is being nerfed. Just the base bomb damage, so the heal and any other things else that come out of the portal is untouched, but the base bomb damage is getting nerfed. 3 portal is very good. It's the easiest splash trait in the game. So if you just like honestly late game, you can just get a random portal +1 and you can actually just play it. It's really easy to play Taric and Galio on any board, or Taric and Nora on any board. It's very, very, very easy. So it's an amazing splash. Additionally, the portal 3 opener is very, very, very powerful if you have any portal upgraded unit like Jace or Zoe with a frontliner. So I think this nerf is good. Also, portal 3 is a way that you cap boards like Veigar. I'm going to talk more about Veigar later because I think he's actually one of the big winners of this nerf patch here. But portal 3 does actually hurt his giga cap at the end. You almost always put cap with 3 portal unless you have a Diana 2. So that does hurt his comp a little bit. Looking up here, next is Vanguard Shield. And again, we'll talk more about compositions in a second. Vanguard Shield for Vanguard is like the easiest default frontline in the game right now because, again, Vanguard's just really good. Like Rumble, Galio, Rumble and Galio are like those dudes that you can play in almost any comp. So you can and they provide value to your team. And then you can play Tom Kinch in every single comp. And what's his face? Mordekaiser is just a really valuable tank in any comp, really. So yeah, I think 4 needed to be nerfed here. This additionally does nerf one of the capped versions of Veigar, which I'm only bringing up Veigar because he is going to be one of my winners at today's patch. I've been thinking about that a little bit. That is one of the ways to cap, although it's, you know, it's just like one of like the 5 variants of in-game for Veigar. Yeah, so definitely needed to be brought down. Vanguards do seem to be the easiest plug and play frontline. Pyro is being nerfed. The executes at the higher ends of the vertical. That's a great nerf because once you have 5 Pyro's always like a +1 check. Yeah, so that's a good nerf there. And also another nerf to 5 Pyro. I think that's justified. You know what I would like? I would like at, 2 Pyro, 3 Pyro, I'd like it to have a slight buff. I could be out of touch there, but I would like for the base attack speed to have a slight buff. It does feel extremely underwhelming until you get the 5 Pyro. I see a lot of people run Pyro and they're just loose streaking the whole game. Then they get 5 Pyro and then they win the game. I think that's kind of like an unhealthy power curve. And, I think they're making the power curve better here, a healthier power curve. But I think the early game needs a little bit of help personally, but I could be out of touch. All right, coming up next, we have some champions here. And so Ahri's true damage being nerfed. That's the best part to nerf Ahri. And then her passive bonus AP that she gets. So this is especially going to nerf like when you get those scholar-based augments where you gain AP for the mana you spend, that sort of thing. And then additionally, when you actually get the 4 or 5 Arcana in, something like that, if you get like a spat or whatever, and you're still using your bonus on Ahri, that is going to nerf that a lot. So the cap of Ahri is hurt a lot. Now, if you're just playing Ahri for mid game, like, does this kill Ahri? I don't think so. I think if you are high rolling the build, like mid game, Ahri should still be pretty good with these changes. But it really, really, really hurts the cap at the end of the game, where true damage matters a lot more in the later parts of the game. The bonus AP matters a lot more, like stage 4 and beyond. It matters a lot more there. And so I think if you're high rolling Ahri, yeah, definitely still playable. It's kind of like Syndra in this patch. If you're high rolling Syndra, you can definitely still play it. So I think maybe we'll be moving into that. Nyla is coming down. The warrior line is performing pretty well. Reroll warriors and then full warrior into Fiora is very, very strong. So this makes sense to me, the Nyla nerf here. This is going to be interesting because I think actually Eldritch is one of the bigger winners of this patch, because Eldritch is one of the verticals a lot of people don't play. Syndra, you only play her from a really high roll position. I think that's one of the big winners here because a lot of the other things got nerfed. We'll talk more about that in a minute. It does suck Nyla gets nerfed for the Eldritch line, but for the warrior line, probably justified. Now coming down here, Fiora really feels like one of the best 4 costs right now. I'm terrified whenever I see a Fiora 2 with 3 items standing on the same side as my carry. I'm just like, holding my little butt cheeks together, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, we have here Fiora, ability damage. She gonna spread them open though, you know what I'm saying? All right, anyway, sorry. Okay, the ability damage, the initial just dash damage is going down, and then the split damage is also going down as well. Yeah, good nerf here. Does this make Fiora bad? I don't think so, and I actually think Callista is one of the bigger winners of this patch, and Fiora is a common carry that you pair with Callista, and so I think Fiora is still gonna do fine on this patch, but maybe not as good in the vertical warrior variants, but paired with someone like Callista, which again, Callista's build is pretty much untouched here other than the Fiora. Hello, my PC just crashed. That was weird. I think we're still recording. Okay, well, we're going. Okay, my PC just crashed. Sorry, guys. That was weird. Okay, moving on. Now we have Nasus ability damage going down. I think it's a fine place to nerf him because he's not really supposed to be a damage dealer, and he was kind of carrying in 6 Shapeshifter, as well as Pyro. Vertical Pyro has been doing very well. I think this is fine to nerf this part of him because he's still going to be a great tank, but I don't know. I think Pyro is being hit a little too hard. I could be out of touch. I think Pyro is being hit a little too hard, but again, we'll see. All right, look it up here. We have some augments down here. And so a lot of these are just going to be the hero augments. So flexible emblems next 3 stages instead, and now it's going to next 2 stages. So you'll have one less portal, or one less emblem. I think this is a good catch here. So this augment is very broken because it enables you to do some ridiculous stuff. So if you get like a portal +1, so easy. And like it's so easy to like play all these like +1s in all these lines. Like portal, you can get any +1 really, and you're gonna be fine. Sugarcraft, if you get a Sugarcraft emblem, okay. And then after that, any emblem you get in Sugarcraft is valuable almost always. There's just like a lot of these weird lines like this, and this definitely needed to be nerfed here. So good catch from the devs. You can get into some really wacky situations with this augment. I did like taking it, but yeah, it's a little overpowered. Next up is Lilia just getting taken down here. Does this mean you never play it? I don't know. I think you probably still play it. Molten Caramel Rumble, ability damage going down. Does this mean you don't take this augment? Nah, man. Like this shit is so broken, and I think Rumble is just a great frontliner, great flex unit. Like you could just take the 2-star Rumble and play it for tempo. You don't even have to reroll it. I think this Molten Caramel Rumble shit is broken. So keep playing it, guys. Next up, Treasure Armory has been disabled. Not really relevant to us. So let's go through and look at some of the biggest winners and losers of the patch. Whether you want to get jacked, lose a few pounds like I need to, or you just want some really convenient, pre-made, healthy meals, then consider using today's sponsor, Factor Meals. Factor is a meal subscription service that offers a plenty of variety of meals and customizable services, whether you want 3 meals a week or 20 meals a week. They have a service just for you and your family. Factor is already pre-made meals that you just have to pop in the microwave for a few minutes, and boom, there you go, a healthy dinner. And again, you can customize it to your dietary needs and your dietary goals. Like I said, you can go for some protein-packed meals or just some average family meals for the kids. If you're considering using Factor, then please use my link in the pinned comment below. You will get 50% off on your first order and 20% off on your subsequent next orders if you use my link, and that's how your boy gets paid. So if you want to support this channel, go ahead and give Factor Meals a try. Back to the video. And so we just have the best comps from 14.16. This is for the patch has gone through. The patch hasn't gone through yet at the time we make this video. Should be out by the time about around the time that you're watching this video. But let's look at some biggest winners and losers of this. Obviously the Bastion, Ahri, and Poppy comp. This is getting, you're taking an L here, right? Ahri's coming down, but as we can see, the placement rate is quite high with a great play rate. Again, I think if you're high rolling the opener, you can definitely still play this. And remember, the front line that was nerfed was Vanguards, not Bastions. So I think if you're high rolling this can still be a great comp and still put the items on Ahri. And then when you cap in the late game, you probably want to cap on Xerath and take Xerath's bonus and not take Ahri's bonus anymore. I know that's like a thing you already consider anyways, but I think definitely you'd want to lean more into the true damage over the AP, since her AP passive is being nerfed quite a bit. Next up, a Hero Augment Rumble. Keep playing Hero Augment Rumble, guys. Play it in the Tristana variants, the Vertical Vanguard variants. Remember that he did get nerfed with the Vanguard, but like who cares, man? And in Sugarcraft variants, that sort of thing if you want to have some fun. High horsepower Lilia and Callista. This is like kind of a vertical Bastion type setup into Callista. I think this is still going to be great. Again, Callista is one of the only carries that most of her build is untouched, and in this build you don't even play Fiora. That's the only part of her build that was nerfed. I think this build is still going to be very strong if it is offered. Now Deja Vu Galio is being nerfed obviously because we took down 4 Vanguard there, but he does go into the vertical. Did they nerf further into the vertical? Let me check here. I don't think that they did, right? Oh no, they didn't. So this build is completely untouched. Your mid game is a little bit weaker, but as soon as you hit Tom Kinch, there is no difference in the strength of this composition. So guys, keep playing Deja Vu Galio and Mordekaiser. It's going to be great for you. This is a Vanguard variant of Ahri. This build is not nearly as good. Probably don't play this variant. Next up, This is Poppy carry, right? So if you have Poppy augments, that sort of thing. Okay, yeah, it's just kind of like the same thing. Guys, yeah, Vertical Bastion is going to be great. I think you guys can still play this Ahri line. It's just not going to be like, you're like, okay, I need to lean Ahri every game. If you're somebody like that, if you're somebody who's already doing like that, I don't think you do that anymore. But again, I think if you're high rolling it and your Vertical Bastion's still very good, so I think people can still play Ahri just fine. Coming down here, Vertical Portal got taken down a little bit because your early game's not quite as good, but it's still going to be great, guys. The Vertical Portal is so easy to play, and then when you get the board online, very, very, very good. 6 and 8 Portal, very, very, very good. Kog'Maw reroll, got a little bit of a buff here indirectly, right? Because things came down. I think one of the bigger winners of the patch is actually Katarina. I know, like Fiora got nerfed and other things got nerfed, but look out for like 4 fairy variants with like a duo carry with either Tristana and Katarina, or Katarina and Callista. I think that's something that could pop out here. Olaf is a big winner on this patch. Now, obviously, you mix Pyro and stuff like that, but the variant in which you're not going 5 Pyro, this got buffed a lot. I think a build that got buffed a lot was Jinx. So any preserver-based build, I think got buffed a lot. Obviously, Fiora is in most preserver-based builds, but I think that build that has been kind of going around, kind of the flavor of the week, like the Hunter Jinx Wukong, right? Hunter backline or the Sugarcraft backline with preservers. You know, I think that build is one of the biggest winners. So if I kind of had to say things overall, who I think is the biggest winners of this patch, I think it is Jinx and Callista, actually. Coming down here, Witchcraft, Karma, and Fiora. That's another comp that's doing okay. Obviously, this comp got taken down here. We'll see how this goes. Honestly, I got to see how those Fiora nerfs hurt her in like Witchcraft and stuff like that. I think she got hurt a little bit harder in Warrior because of just how her scaling works. But in Witchcraft, this build is probably still pretty good if you do vertical Witchcraft stuff. I don't think Spider Queen's that good right now. You know, Blasters are untouched. Maybe the Blaster stuff will be pretty good. Obviously, Rumble got taken down a little bit, right? But maybe the vertical Blaster stuff, the Soju build, he likes to play that a lot. So it's just in synopsis, guys, just looking back at everything, I think the biggest winners are Jinx, Callista, Blasters. Those are probably the biggest winners here. Maybe give those a try going into the patch. We'll see what happens. Again, this is a nerf patch. When there's a nerf patch, it's not really super clear what we should be playing, because when things come down out of the meta, things that we weren't even playing will pop up as well. Look out for some fast 9 strategies if people stop rerolling. I think rerolling is already kind of falling off right now anyways, unless people have hero-based augments or Ahri, right? And Ahri is coming down, right? And some of the hero-based augments are coming down. I think the hero augments are going to be broken still, unfortunately. But if you see in your lobby that no one has taken hero augments, no one is leaning, not a lot of players are leaning reroll, like 1 or 2 are leaning reroll, who cares? As long as it's not a hero augment variant. I think you can actually have some fast 9 angles if you have some economy augments. So look out for that strategy. It's not a strategy that a lot of people are utilizing right now, but I think it could prop up as soon as reroll becomes less in your games. I think it could be good. And I think reroll is already falling off a little bit anyways. So give that a try. I think this patch is, I think it's a good patch, but it's not the best, whatever. I haven't been playing a whole lot right now. I've just been covering the meta, just been paying attention. When normally I've been playing a lot right now, I've been just kind of testing a lot of strategies and just trying to hard forcing some stuff. I was about to start hard forcing mages just to see if that's a good strategy so I can make a video for you guys. And I also want to test some fast 9 strategies. So those are the things I want to test. Again, one more thing, you know, I said all the comps are big winners. I think Veigar could be a big winner of this whenever you're high rolling. And yeah, that could be very good. His cap did get hurt a little bit with 3 Portal for Vanguard stuff, but there's a lot of variants you can play with Veigar. So I think he's a big winner as well. Look out for some fast 9 strategies, and maybe I'll be forcing some of this stuff so I can make some content for you guys later in this week. So look out for that. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the patch note rundown, and good luck climbing. I'll see you on the next one.